Hey everyone, it's Tiffany Shree, and today I just wanted to make a quick video about my worst date ever. I've been kind of binge watching these videos lately, so I thought I would go ahead and make one of my own. So if the person that I was on a date with is watching, I'm so sorry. I'm sure that you're a lovely guy. I don't know what the odds are that he would be watching, but just in case, like, you know, this isn't anything like to slam you, but this was hands down the most, I can't think about it without like dry reaching. Okay, let's just get into the story, and I'm sorry if you're watching and it's you. So I was using a dating app at the time. This was a few years ago. I was single. I was at that stage where I was kind of like, I'm not really looking for a boyfriend, but I'm, you know, if a date comes along, maybe like I wouldn't, you know, if I'm bored and someone else wants to go out to dinner, whatever, Netflix and chill, like, cool. So this particular night I was going out on a date, and in Brisbane there's this place in the city called West End, which I had never been to before. It's known to be like really cool, like really kind of edgy, kind of like hipster hippie stuff, like a lot of cool bars and clubs and pubs and shops and stuff like that. So this guy, after we were chatting a bit on this dating app, he was like, oh, well, how about I take you out tonight to a pub in West End since you've never been there before? I can like show you around. So I was like, cool, that's awesome. Like, why not? So he comes over to my house and he picks me up and we head straight to the pub. And I should have mentioned that I'm really not a beer drinker. Like if it's one of my friends' birthdays or something and we're gonna do like a pub crawl or like around the city and they just want to go to like pubs and drink beer, like I'll play along, you know, I'll just be drinking cider, but that's really the closest that I'll ever get to beer. Anyways, it was still nice of him to take me out, so we go into the pub and I'm like suffering through this big thing of beer that he ordered me. I'm like, bleh. And I'd like to pride myself on thinking that I'm pretty good at holding conversations with people. Like, I feel like everyone you meet, you'll most likely have something in common with them. Like one thing in common that you can have a good conversation about, and then it'll like open the door or venues for more topics that you kind of fit into like a Venn diagram with. But this guy, I just, like if I'm not clicking with you, like if we don't hit it off, it's really hard for me to keep the conversation going. Like I feel like like maybe this is just a bad trait of mine, but if I meet you, we're either like best friends straight away or we're not, and I just really don't have anything to do with you. I feel like it's because I'm not really smooth or like witty, like on my feet, especially in awkward situations. I really envy other people who are just like so quick to think of things to say or to keep conversations going. But yeah, this guy, we were, again, so I was struggling through my big ass beer and it was like, cool, yeah, nice decorations here. They've got like wallpaper, like that's really funky and cool, and oh, those people are playing pool. It's nice to see people playing pool. Like, it was just so awkward and it was just like such a dull conversation. So I was trying to drink my beer really, really quickly just to get through it. And then he's like, oh, you're almost done. Let's grab another one. So I was like, okay, all right, just keep going, keep doing it. You can get through it. Just have a couple drinks and then you'll be home, and then you won't have to, then the night will be over. There are some times where I'll be like, okay, when in doubt, like if there's ever an awkward situation, just go have a smoke. I don't smoke cigarettes anymore, like every day, but if I'm drinking, if I'm on a night out, then I will grab a pack of Rollies and I will have some smokes just for that night. But at the time I was smoking. He wasn't, however, but I was like, look, like I need a break, like I just need the scenery to change. So I was like, well, I'm gonna go outside and have a smoke. Like, can we take our drinks out there? Like, you don't have to come with me. Like, I'll just chill outside. And he's like, no, no, no. But the whole time he was lecturing me about how he had acupuncture and hypnosis or some shit, and how smoking was so bad for me, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, it's just so awkward. Like, why would you do that when you're on a date? Like, I don't know. I found it really strange. So then we go back inside, we put our glasses up, we're done drinking. I think he kind of was getting the hint, like, there's no spark, like this isn't really going any further. So I was like, okay, well, I'm ready to head back to my place. Like, can you drive me home? So as we're walking down the steps out of the pub on the way to his car, he says, hey, check this out. And he sounds really excited, a lot more livelier than the whole past 2 hours we've been talking. So I'm like, oh, like, what do you have to show me? And I turned to him and he's lifted his shirt up and he's pulling out of his belly button a giant ball of belly button lint or fluff or whatever you want to call it. Like literally betwixt his fucking fingers was a black fluffy ball of belly button crap. And he was like, oh, I reckon that's about as big as almost as big as a 50-cent piece. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. I don't have a coin to compare it to. And I'm like trying not to like dry reach. And then he says, oh, that's nothing, check this out. And he pulls out his phone and he swipes to a picture on his phone where there's a 50-cent piece, an Australian 50-cent coin. Oh, I wish I had my wallet on me. Guys, you just need to like, for any like American viewers, you need to like Google a picture of a 50-cent piece. I don't have one on me, but it's pretty fucking big. So he holds up a picture on his phone of a 50-cent coin and another wad of just like black kind of hair fuzz, like it doesn't, and it's obviously like belly button lint, belly button fluff, and it's as big as a 50-cent piece. And so he's like taking a picture to compare the size and he's like super proud of it. And I'm like, okay, oh dear, I can't keep this up. Like even thinking about just how like there was like little bits of hair like coming out of what he was showing me in person. So I kind of immediately just, I'm like, like, just take me home, take me home. Like, I just can't, I just want to be home. I just want this night to be over. So he takes me home and as I'm getting out of the car, I'm like, okay, thanks for such a good night. Like, I'll message you. And he's like, oh, don't you want me to come inside for coffee? And I was like, no, I don't drink coffee. And it's nighttime and I don't even know if I have like a kettle to boil water and I don't have tea. And like just every excuse was like coming out of my mouth. And he's like, well, why don't I just walk you to the door? And I'm like, no, like it's fine. And I just like went in, gave him a hug and I'm like, okay, bye. Like, thank you so much, but bye. And yeah, then he did message me a bit afterwards, but I did that. I kind of feel bad. Like, I don't know if I should have been more straight up with him and just been like, dude, like, I don't really feel a spark. Like, I'm sorry. But I kind of did that ghosting thing where I was just like, I'm busy forever. Haha, cool. And then just like slowly stop replying until he stops messaging me. I do feel bad about that. But I just can't get it out of my head that I just will never forget that fucking fluffy hairy ball of poof that he thought was okay to pull out and show me. And it really annoys me because I was really looking forward to experiencing West End to be this like really cool hip place that everyone's like, oh my god, you'd love West End, like all the stuff you're into, all the music you're into. And that is literally what I associate West End with in Brisbane. So there you go, there's a story of my worst date ever. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comment section down below what your worst date was, or if you've ever had a similar experience or how you would have handled it. And wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a beautiful day. Bye!